Dun, 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 dun.
It's one thing to imagine yourself on the setting of a deserted island. It's another thing to not only put yourself into that situation physically, but to make a streaming show depicting your experiences. So then maybe for those of us who are thinking, like, well, what would that look like? Now you can get a clever window where it's not just imagined. You can actually see someone playing that out. And this does sound very interesting. I've never heard... Well, I mean, I've heard of streaming events, but none to this length. Because this is going to be, as I understand it, a 3-day event, or at least with this length. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how that works in terms of... Well, I'd imagine, like, maybe... Because I'm sitting there thinking 24 hours in a day. Is that like a 72-hour event? Or maybe does it start at a certain time on the first day and end at a certain time to narrow that window down a bit? It's somewhere in there. But it sounds really interesting. So again, it's called The Beach, as you probably already can see. This is from A24, who I've lauded in the past as a studio that is definitely very high quality in terms of a lot of the products they make. Yes, not every project that they produce is one that I typically watch, and a lot of their horror stuff I tend to avoid. Not always, but for the most part. However, even in those cases, I can't deny that there is a quality to the studio that it definitely speaks to a high prowess in terms of their talents and expenses, I'm sure, with filmmaking. But it's really interesting, though. Again, I've not seen a project like this myself, but I love documentaries. And to realistically, depict what life on a deserted island situation would be like with none of the modern conveniences or technology that we have nowadays, this TV show gives you, or I guess a streaming event, as we'll call it, gives you a window into that. This is what it says according to IMDb. Filmmaker Warwick Thornton's international success has come at a personal cost. He has reached a crossroads in his life and something has to change. He has chosen to try giving up life in the fast lane for a while to go it alone on an isolated beach in one of the most beautiful yet brutal environments in the world to see if he can transform and heal his life. That is very interesting. Again, I think a lot of us, especially me, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Life does move really quickly. So you find you wake up in the morning, and you go to bed, you're like, how much did I do today? And sometimes there are just days where you're like, am I really enjoying... I mean, some days you might be filled with, seemingly insurmountable amounts of work. And that might be, for me, work, I consider work an accomplishment. But even I, sometimes have to think about, am I missing out on, the real joy of nature and life? And even as a Christian, too. I mean, I certainly look into the aspects of a natural world as God has created it. And it's like, I want to be able to enjoy that more. Because, we only have so much time, in our lives to actually enjoy experiences like that. I don't know. I think about these more intellectual matters a little deeper, I think, especially a lot more lately. But it's just something, I've come across this idea, too, in my own life. And it's something I thought about personally. So, what would it look like to give up everything? In one of the most, I love how it's like polar opposites, a beautiful and brutal environment at the same time. It's a very interesting idea. Let's see how this works. I mean, this could, again, be quite scenic. I would imagine that it's going to be. This is A24 producing this. But an experience like that, where you're cutting yourself off from the majority of civilization in terms of the developments we know from day to day, yeah, that could be. We're going to go ahead and watch this first, and we'll talk about it more in my condensed through this segment. Pause watching the video together. Let's see how brutal this gets for this Warwick Thornton. Again, I've not seen his work, but this should be interesting. All right. It says he's got some international success, so obviously he's been down this type of route. Maybe not this specifically, but he's certainly taken journeys. I'm sure that this is a level up for him. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. It's really pretty. I don't know if I've never heard of A24 screening rooms, so this is a new thing, at least for me. But I love new experiences, and again, I love documentaries. Very beautiful.
Might be time you come out.
Feels very grounded.
Aye.
Is this on the beachfront? I'm assuming it is. Oh no, I guess not, because these are modern conveniences. Maybe this is more so like the flashback of this is what I want to do in my own life. Oh, maybe it is. Not sure. We all have those moments in life where we need to get back in touch with nature.
And we do it again.
That's really pretty. It's a long trailer, too. They call this an infinite trailer. I've not heard of the title like that often. If you want to enjoy Thanksgiving in a different way...
Good morning, ladies. You survived another day.
Getting in touch with life. And definitely, I'd say life skills that are extraordinarily needed to be revitalized in today's culture. I don't know. Not many people, well, I imagine there's probably more with fish, but not as many people my age, at least from what I've seen. Or at least people that I know.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
So is this sort of like a looped trailer? And like, okay, this is 1 day, this is 2 days. I wonder. Okay, so I guess this was... Oh, November 22nd and 28th. Okay, it's much longer than I thought. I thought it said the 24th on the poster. So this is only a 3-day window, I guess? And you've got like the entire duration of a day depicted.
Welcome. Welcome.
It's really pretty. Look how close they got down to smallest creatures. It's amazing. I really love documentaries. You just get to see aspects of the world that might be completely unfamiliar to you or that have just gotten lost in the rapidity of life.
Grow, you little bastard. Grow, grow, grow.
And I'm assuming you have to... I don't know if that means it's going to be pre-recorded when they say... like a one-time event only or whatever. I forgot exactly how they said it. Let me get back on the wording here. For 1 week only. So I don't know if this is going to be like you can go and watch this later or you have to watch this at the time. Maybe it won't be available again. Well, I don't know. Because I think, they probably keep it around. Maybe if they want to put it somewhere. If you want to spend your Thanksgiving in that way, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a sports person, so I might substitute it with a nature documentary. Hey, I like to be a bit of a rebel in terms of tradition. It looks nice, though. Like I said, again, A24, I'm very used to their work at this point, and I expect nothing less than a high-quality program. And a documentary like this, which is just, again, so scenic and beautiful, and really, encapsulates the idea, what they say in the synopsis, that this is a beautiful, island setting, essentially. But life could be brutal in this way, right, for many people, especially when you're cutting yourself off. And really interrupting your daily life as you understand it. Doing away with all the technology, doing away with most of the conveniences. Obviously, there's a couple things here, but it very much is like a back to nature type show. There's no Wi-Fi here, so you can only entertain yourself so much. Jimmy, you've got. But again, look at the different ways you can function in life. You can stare at the sun going down, sunset, sunrise. He's got a guitar here that he can play. He can make, I guess, sand circles with a tractor. Do they have gas on this island? Is that how you power a tractor? I'm not exactly sure. But maybe it's more, no, it sounds like a motor. I was going to say maybe it's like a foot pedal one, but no, it's not. But it's beautiful, like I said. Just beautiful demonstration, as I would expect. And it's a very interesting event. Again, I'm not used to these types of streaming event setups. If this is something that A24 has done before, I wouldn't know about it, but maybe it's something fresh. I think it's an interesting territory to go down. I think they've crafted an interesting show. Now, for some of you might be like, well, this looks maybe it's a personal taste thing as well, that some people might like the slower paced programs like me, from time to time. But I love the experience of learning. And really, again, just seeing life in action down to its most basic forms. So this is certainly something I think... It's very appealing, at least on a first watch, and we'll see how the series goes. I mean, again, I don't know how much attention will be given to it by a major audience, but if you want an interesting way to enjoy your Thanksgiving, you could watch The Beach. What are your guys' thoughts with this show, or this streaming event? I don't know if they call it an official show, which I'm going to try to be technically correct according to the terms that they at least use in defining the show, at least on IMDb and the trailer itself. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Don't forget all the good stuff, like, subscribe to sharing that bell until we get to watch more from A24 in the future. I will see you guys who are pointing dubs to me, but for now, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Remember to love yourselves, your fellow man. God bless, and peace.